Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players Own channel. And Inter Milan have done it. They've secured their 20th Scudetto last night against rivals AC. What a game to do it in the derby. And quite a game it was. One of the most entertaining games we've seen in the Serie A for some time. A very entertaining weekend for Serie A action. But this video is all about Inter Milan. They've dominated from start to finish this season in the Serie A. Juventus tried the start of the season, couldn't get near them. AC have tried to pull the gap, haven't got anywhere close to Inter Milan. They've been the most consistent side, dominant side, very attacking, very easy to watch, and one of the top teams in Europe, and absolutely deserving there of this 20th Scudetto, which secures them the second star on the kit now, which is helping them grow and approach that 3 stars that Juventus has secured for their 34 titles in Italy. But a long-awaited title, something well-deserved. And gee, this group has been so impressive. That's what this video today is going to be all about, talking about this group that Inter have built with Inzaghi in charge. It's been such a great side, built from players that, rejects from other clubs, not expected to be big-time players, but have come together to produce quite a dynasty here over the past 2 seasons, and will continue to develop, and I think will be a dominant side in Serie A now for 2 or more years to come. Before we get into their season, the players, talk about last night's game. As I said, they won the title against rivals AC Milan. So what an occasion to do it in the derby, and what a game it was as well. 2-1 result they won in the end. It was a Serb in the 80th minute to get the first goal, heading it on with a flick on from Pavard at the front post. He nodded home the goal, the former Milan player scoring, which was another just dagger in the hearts of the AC fans there. Lautaro should have made it 2-0 not too long after that. And Inter's chances continued to come. Thuram missed a few chances, whilst the other end, Leao had his shot saved, and AC were going for it as well. So very entertaining, back and forth type affair. Milan had to win. Inter obviously didn't have to win, but would have loved to win the title against their rivals, and they absolutely wanted that. They continued to attack and continue to pressure, and finally that second goal would come through Thuram. A classical Thuram finish this season, direct running past defenders and drilling that ball in at the near post past Magnan, who had no chance to stop that shot and absolutely deserved his goal in this game. He was a real threat for me, for Inter. Probably their best player on the night. The midfield was very good as well, alongside Bastoni at the back there as well. But a very impressive goal there for Marcus Thuram, who capped off a great season. Hope he continues to score some goals to end the season off. He's been super impressive and a great pickup for this Inter side. Tomori kept the game alive though. The 80th minute, he headed home a parried effort. It got a bit feisty at the end. A few red cards being handed out to Calabria, to Teo Hernandez, and also to Denzel Dumfries. But when the final whistle was blown, Inter secured the win, the 2-1 win, to secure themselves the 20th Scudetto in the history, the second star as well. And that's where it comes to the whole point of the video here. What a season they have had. I still believe this side is probably the top 3 sides in football right now, probably behind Real Madrid and Manchester City in terms of not having that quality and depth that those 2 sides have, but the way they play their football is not too far behind it. Very progressive, very front-footed, and in their own way as well. Inzaghi has put together a superb team that work well. They fit each other's style of football, and is just ridiculous in terms of how they dominate sides week in, week out. The total confirmed now with 5 games to go, and they currently sit 86 points. So it's still a chance to notch up the 3 digits. 101 points is the maximum points to secure this season, which is unfortunately 1 point behind Conte's 13-14 Juventus side, who went on to win 102 points in their title that season. But it's still going to be a historic season. Inter's largest point total ever is 97 points in the league season, so they could absolutely go and topple that amount, which would be a great achievement for this side, and goes to show you how historic this group is. And when I mention some of the names I'll comment to later on, it's a real team effort built behind a new era, I think, of Serie A football. I've said it on the podcast a fair bit. The new way forward for Serie A teams is not that traditional, just defensive and really robust, tough teams with skillful players up top. It's a more team attacking style where you throw fullbacks on. In Inter's case, you throw centre-backs on as well and overload wide areas. You've got midfielders who can run both ways. You've got attackers that are so dynamic, wingers that are quick and pacey and powerful. You look at Motta's side in Bologna, who are currently 4th place, playing a very attacking style of football. Daniel De Rossi's refound the form with Roma, but playing aggressive, attacking football. Napoli last season, throwing numbers forward, very aggressive fullbacks. And the same thing with the Inter side here. That 5 at the back basically becomes 2 at times because they throw centre-backs forward They throw the fullbacks forward. You basically have one holder in midfield, the others progress forward. So you start overload the forward areas. You play in possession, you play in triangles. And it's like the great AC Milan teams, the great Juventus teams, this way this interside plays with no fear, with constant attacking football, and we just overwhelm sides, whether it be in Europe or in the Serie A. They just attack, and eventually you just cannot hold on because this side is just too overwhelming in terms of their attacking football. And the stats have got to show that. 27 wins in the league, 5 draws, only the 1 loss this season. They've only conceded 18 goals this season. The next best being 26 by Bologna and Juventus. So 8 goal difference just speaks volumes. And it speaks volumes about this defence and the certain goalkeepers they've signed have been massive this season as well. As I said, the attacking football, the ultra-aggressive football is a bit different now from what we're used to in the last sort of 10 years, the last decade in Serie A has all been built around the great defenders, Chiellini, Bonucci, coming off the likes of the Maldini eras, with Cannavaro's as well. We're finding a new era here in Serie A football, progressive style of football, attacking football, working with ultra-aggressive fullbacks, a versatile midfield which can drop in at different points in time. And I think Inzaghi's been the leader here in this front in Italy. Bologna this season under Motta has followed that similar sort of trait. AC have tried, they just haven't had the quality and the consistency in their players to go and match what Inter have done this season. And teams will come and follow. You see what Roma and Daniel De Rossi's tried to do is, produce that attacking style of football, push the fullbacks on, have 2 to number 10s in midfield, Pellegrini and Dybala, and to create that way. The unique nature of this Inter side is the way they play the 3 centre-backs, obviously the wing-backs that push on, but they play the 2 strikers. They don't play real wingers. Those fullbacks are the wingers. So you basically end up with 4 forwards. You end up with DeMarco or Pavard, whoever's in that wing-back position, pushing on and joining the Thuram and Lautaro Martinez combination, or Arnautovic up top, or Alexis Sanchez. They've got so much quality players that can chuck up top and do the job. But I still think in terms of strike partnerships this season, there's not many that can go past Thuram and Lautaro Martinez in terms of how well they work together. The interplay between these 2 players are superb. The physicality that Thuram can bring, the real pace and clinical nature that Lautaro has when he's in his best form. They're 2 really form-based players. We know they're not the most consistent players, but this season they have produced consistent football for 80 to 85% of the season and have been a trouble across Europe and especially in the Serie A. They've stood up. Lautaro, the captain, Thuram being that sort of 1B striker, the one that's going to facilitate for Lautaro to feed off some scraps and to create things out of nothing. That's what they've done well this season. They've created a lot of opportunities out of not much. When times that Inter haven't been at their best, they've still found a way to win, like the Real Madrid do, like the Manchester Cities do. This is what these top teams have over some other teams. This is what they've had over AC and over Juventus. They've had the ability to win games when they haven't been at their best, but when they have been at their best, they've dominated sides. They've put them to the sword. They've converted. Where Juventus have fallen short this season in terms of not having that attacking output, and AC have fallen short with conceding too many goals at big moments. Inter have had it at both ends. They've defended so well despite only having 2 or 3 centre-backs back at a time. They've attacked with great prowess. They've scored goals when they needed to. You've had big players like Sanchez and Arnautovic off the bench turn up for big occasions. Thuram being that backup striker, consistently providing goals. Lautaro Martinez as the captain, scoring a ridiculous amount of goals this season. The support for midfield with Barella, with Mkhitaryan, with Calhanoglu as well. And the support from the wing-backs, Denzel Dumfries, DeMarco, Pavard, it's been superb. And I cannot fault any of these players in this team this season. And I cannot fault Inzaghi. He's been very, very impressive. He won a few trophies with Lazio prior to moving to Inter Milan. But since moving there now, these 6 trophies in the 3 seasons, his first Scudetto with the side, have been in and around though. For the last 2 to 3 years, they have been the next big team. You got AC winning one, Inter winning one before that, before he joined. But now over the last 2 years, a Champions League final last season, unfortunately going down to arguably the best team in the world last season in Manchester City. They've now gone and won the Scudetto. They've won the Super Cup this season, so double this season. And unfortunate not to go to the Champions League final, getting knocked out in penalties at Atletico Madrid. So unfortunate because they would have ended up on this weaker side of the draw. I could have seen them coasting this side of the draw, going past all these teams and making another Champions League final, potentially against a Real Madrid side to really test them as well. So it really puts a downward note, I guess, in terms of how people respect this side because they did get knocked out in the round of 16. But if you ignore that, and as football fans, the rules that football fans will appreciate what Inzaghi's done with Inter this season. And I still believe, as I said at the top of the video, they are probably a top 3 team in world football right now with the way they play their football, with how versatile that midfield is there, and how progressive they can be. It's a modern style of football. It is progressive. It's attacking. They might concede a few chances, but they're really strong defensively. And boy, they create so many chances that they score so many goals, and it's so hard to stop at times. And that leads me to these key players now for Inter Milan this season. Starting with the captain, Lautaro Martinez, 23 league goals, the leader of the side, the Golden Boot winner, most likely now in the Serie A. As I said, not known for being the most consistent striker, but when he's in form, he's lethal. He's very good in front of goal, and that's what he's been this season. Any half chance, he's put it away. In the Champions League, he obviously missed some big opportunities, but in the league, he hasn't really put a foot wrong. Whenever he's been available and playing, he has scored goals. The captain of the side, a leader of the side, and a true great link-up he's built there with Thuram this season. So a very exciting player. We're excited to see what he can do in the Copa America this upcoming summer for Argentina. That's the only thing missing in his caliber now. He's going to win the Scudetto. He's been a part of a Champions League final team run. But can he now do it with Argentina on the biggest stage? Can he be that real leader because Messi's drop off and because of some younger players joining around him? Di Maria's getting older as well. Can he be the leader of that front line for Argentina in the coming Copa America? It'll be very interesting to see. But this season he's proved he is still a top striker in Europe and has to be respected here. Another underrated signing. I think one of the signings of last summer, Jan Sommer, for I think around 7 million euros. He's replaced Andre Nani. Had a lot of plaudits for the way he played his football. He's had to get into going progressively with his ball playing out of the back. He's had 23 clean sheets and 40 appearances and averaging, conceding 0.6 goals per game, making save after save, and being a consistent figure. You know, a figure that was so important in the Bundesliga. Moved to Bayern, didn't quite get the appearance his knees now with Neuer coming back. He said, I'm going to make the big move across to Inter Milan, take the number 1 spot, and boy, has he hit the ground running. Such a big figure in goal. Solid enough with the ball at his feet, not Onana levels, not the modern sort of ball-playing elite levels, but good enough with the ball at his feet. Makes the big saves, makes himself big in goal, and truly is the best goalkeeper in the Serie A, in my opinion, the way he goes about it. Him and Wojciech Szczesny, and I guess Magnan is around that mark as well, but him and Wojciech Szczesny are in a world of their own. Bit older as well, 35 years of age. I can see him how dominating with Inter for another 2 more seasons, the way he goes about his work. So smart, so safe with his hands. And whenever Inter have been put under some sort of pressure, he has kept the ball out the net. And 0.6 goals average conceding a game goes to show that. With the way they play, so progressive and so attacking, you'd think they concede at least a goal per game. But whether it be the defenders or him and net, they do not concede many. As we said, only 18 conceded in the league this season. That then brings on to my third important player, which is Calhanoglu this season. A player in the past who's been very progressive in terms of playing the number 10 or playing amongst the front 3. But this season played a more number 8 role, even at times number 6 holding, with how versatile and that trio is in midfield. He's done a great job, but still managed 11 goals and 3 assists in the league. Being a vital player for link-up play, you know, linking that defence to the attack, feeding the ball out to the fullbacks, then getting in the edge of the box for those finishes, being that fox in the box when he has to be. So important, and does some great running. A lot of hard, underrated work this season. Such an important player for the Inter side. His IQ, his intellect, the way he links the play up is so underrated, and that leads me to my next point. The midfield trio has been so important this season. Calhanoglu, Barella, and Mkhitaryan. You look at that 3 in midfield, you think 2 number 10s and maybe a number 8, but the way that at times Calhanoglu sits in to allow Barella to push on, or Mkhitaryan to push on. Mkhitaryan then sitting with 2 number 8s at times with Mkhitaryan and Calhanoglu, allow Barella to push on, or Barella joins in midfield to allow Mkhitaryan to push on as more of that aggressive sort of central midfielder. They're listed on the team sheet as 3 central midfielders, but that's why, because they're so versatile. One drops in, one pushes on, one can hold the space, and they work so well as a trio. They accompany each other well. They play each other's strengths. In terms of midfield trios, you know, you look at the Real Madrids, Man City's when they try and sometimes play as a diamond. You know, obviously they're the tops in the world, but look at Arsenal's, the Liverpool's. Everyone talks about these sort of sides and what they do, the Barcelonas, but Inter Milan just going under the radar. Again, no household names. I think Barella will make himself a household name with his upcoming Euros for Italy, but you know, older players like Mkhitaryan and Calhanoglu, that's changed their positioning, changed the way they play their football to suit this system. have the ability to ball carry, have the ability to play the ball quickly in triangles. And that's what Inzaghi's built, a real ball-playing possession style, aggressive, attacking style of football. In many regards, you have no number 6 in this side here, but they can fill in at times and do that job. But that's just the freedom that Inzaghi gives. That's the style of football that Inter Milan play, that aggressive, attacking style of football that you don't have to have a number 6 in midfield. You can have these number 8s and number 10s all playing together and doing a job very, very well. That finally leads on to my two sort of favourite players in this side, which is Bastoni and DiMarco. DiMarco for that fullback position. This is someone who definitely will get the props he deserves in the Euros. I think people will discover how good he is up and down that flank, delivering quality ball after quality ball into the area. And someone that has that two-way running we don't see very often. You know, the pace to get up and down, the fitness to get up and down, and to always be available. Always someone that's out there for the out ball, can whip the great ball into the box, can feed Lautaro and Marcus Thuram, can find the likes of Hakan Çalhanoğlu on the edge of the area or Barella on the edge of the area. His ability in the ball is second to none. It is the modern fullback, the way he can play his football. And yes, he might not invert or do any of this fancy Pep Guardiola type stuff, but he does a great job in getting up and down that flank there and does it very, very well. So this Italy side this summer, I think they're looking the likes of DiMarco. They look like Barella. These two players in this side here will become known as house unknown. So at least I hope they will, because they've been so good this season and so consistent throughout the year. And obviously Bastoni as well. As I said, they play with 3 centre-backs. Acerbi, Pavard sometimes play in there. You can check other names involved. They have so many different names that go through the centre-back position. But Bastoni has been a constant figure, someone that's comfortable with the ball at his feet. Someone that's also very comfortable pushing on. At times we've seen him assisting balls from the left wing position, pushing up the pitch, getting balls into the area, attacking balls at the back post at times. Very comfortable in terms of playing his role. He's fine to wander up the pitch and support and overload the wide areas. Inzaghi gives him that freedom, but he also has the ability to get back quite fast and recreate that back three there. The similarities between Bayer Leverkusen and Inter Milan this season is quite obvious, and it looks like Hincapié and Bastoni are very similar in their type, so they're confident in the ball. They have the ability to push on and join the attack at time, but also join back in that centre-back three and accompany and make up for the lack of pace in Acerbi. And then obviously in Bayer Leverkusen there, the likes of Jonathan Tah that aren't so quick. They support them very well. It's a great trio there at the back. I think Pavard alongside Acerbi and Bastoni is probably their best trio at the back. It's been rotated at times, as I said, but they just, once again, like the midfield trio, they accompany each other, they work together so well, they play to each other's strengths, and it's become a backline that's almost impossible to pass. I think them and Real Madrid's backline this season have been the most impressive for me. You know, Real Madrid have had a lot of changing faces and inconsistency, but what Inter Milan have had is consistent names consistently throughout the season that produce 8 out of 10 performances every week. You cannot fault this back line with the goalkeeper and the back five. They don't do much wrong at all. It's been super impressive. I think Bastoni for me stands out the most in terms of how comfortable he is in the ball, his closing pace, and his ability to join the attack and become almost a left-sided central midfielder or holding midfielder at times with how fluid this system is. So very, very impressive there as well. And what a side has been this season, you know, so close to breaking the Juve record if all goes well. If they all go well and win their last 5 games against bottom half opposition, they will go and get the 101 points, which will be an absolutely incredible achievement. To get the triple-digit points in this modern football era where teams are so level, where results and fixtures are so congested, is such a great achievement. Even if they can end the season with only 1 loss, you've got them with 1 loss, Real Madrid with 1 loss, Bayer Leverkusen without a loss this season. It's a memorable season for these title-winning sides that have gone through great runs. I think Inter deserve their props because they haven't got the much media attention as Real have got or Leverkusen have got or the Premier League title races getting, because I guess it's not fashionable to like the Serie A as much anymore, but it's a great league and this side is a superb side. I 100% reckon, right now I'm going Real Madrid, Man City, and then I'm chucking Inter Milan in there as well. A formidable force that play such attacking football that is so good to watch in the eye, and Inzaghi has created a great system here that's going to dominate Serie A for the next 2 years at least. You got Pioli looking to be sacked by AC Milan. Allegri looks to be out at Juventus. Juventus are a basket case at the moment. Roma is still trying to find their feet and really join that upper echelon pack. Bologna, you don't know how long that great run will last there with Motta. So right now I can see at least for next season, Inter will coast the league again, I believe. But can they do it for further seasons? Because what they've done is they've got a bunch of players here that aren't top 10s in any of their real positions, but they perform at such a high level. the likes of Barella, the likes of Bastoni, the likes of Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. And they've found players that have been rejects in other places. Acerbi, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Alexis Sanchez. There's so many names. The names go on and on and on. Benjamin Pavard. These are names that haven't really been successes other places, but have got the job done here. And obviously Inzaghi's a great mastermind. It's made them all work together. Again, I say it a lot with Serie A teams, especially with Milan and Inter. They're teams that are not built on the top quality names. They've got a few really world-class players filtered in there, but it's system. The system works, and it works to a great extent. And for Inter this season, it's worked to wonders. They've dominated the league. They've walked the league. The fact they're, I think, now 13 points clear of Milan in second goes to show it all. And the fact they won their 20th Scudetto, they got the second star on the badge against their rivals, the fans will absolutely be loving it, and they absolutely deserve to celebrate after a superb season. They've done the double, Super Cup and Scudetto, but next season I want to see, can they go and push for another Champions League title? Can they make another Champions League final? Because I think the quality in this squad is there. It's a very dangerous squad. It's a very likeable squad as well, so very interesting to see how they go next season. If you have the chance, please watch their last final 5 games, at least one of them in the Serie A, and watch how this team goes about its business, because Inzaghi has got this team clicking on a different level right now. With that all being said, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit longer, but I had to talk about what Inter have done this season. A superb season for Inter Milan. 20 Scudetto, second star now for the Inter Milan side, and doing against their rivals. What better way to do it? If you enjoyed the video, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Let me know your thoughts of how you see Inter. Are they one of the top 5 teams in the world for you? Are they top 3 like I see them in the world? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please be sure to press the post notification bell so you know we upload videos, podcasts, and other reaction type videos. And also share the channel with mates who would enjoy this type of content. That would be much appreciated. With that all being said, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the upcoming football, and I'll see you guys from the video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.